Here we are at the beautiful Popkum Community Trail here in Chilliwack, British Columbia, just checking out some of the nature cropping up at the end of January in this place. It's one of the first times I've had the pleasure of checking this place out, but I'm immediately enthused. We can see that they have taken the nature that's already here, some of these beautiful big-ass trees alongside this nice little creek here. I'm excited to come back and check this place out during crayfish season. I think I can snatch a couple of big ones out of here, just for photos, of course. Absolutely love that when I come back here, a little bit deeper into the spring, we're gonna see all kinds of beautiful native plant life creeping up through here. Sure, it's got problems like any natural space in the valley. Gosh darn Himalayan blackberry coming out of the woodworks to ruin everyone's day. That can be expected. Got hoarfrost for days. Absolutely all over the place. It's nice when you get these nice little shady segments of the trail. They create interesting little micro habitats, and we'll see dividends from that in the springtime. Some of the native homies here gotta love on local amphibians. Now this is not so nice to me, unfortunately. What we see a lot of out here is reed canary grass. Now this stuff ended up all over the Fraser Valley back in the 70s as part of a decorative grass craze. You see a lot of different things like pampas grass in other climates that have hung on from that point. But here we get reed canary grass that extends for kilometers, and the big problem with reed canary grass is that it finishes up its life cycle and turns brown and dry like this well before the end of the growing season. They are a large contributor to fires all throughout BC. You got some more hints at some of the local composition. You got rose spirea right here, also known as hardhack. Distinct aroma washing over this place. There's a whole bouquet of smells you get throughout Chilliwack being part of a farming community. But over here, it's sort of like a distinct garter snake musk I'm getting, honestly, which is real strange because all them fellas, they're underground right now hibernating, or not hibernating, what is it called? Brumating, I think. Now up here, we got some cavities put into this tree from the woodpeckers. I'd take a shot in the dark and say, based on the birds I've seen around here, probably hairy or a downy woodpecker, something from genus Dryobates. But those habitat engineers are real handy. They do a lot of work, and a lot of animals will come after they've left these cavities they've made and make them their homes. Here we see some of the problems that Himalayan blackberry causes in the environment. Normally a waterway like this would have a beautiful selection of native plants on either side. There'd be different biota growing in the water, around the water, and over the water. But it has been completely consumed by these big mounds of Himalayan blackberry. This stuff, it doesn't die during the winter or during the summer. It kills everything growing underneath it. It threatens the biodiversity of our environments, and in doing so, we see that the banks, they begin to erode away as the weak root structure from the blackberries isn't doing the hard work that our normal native species do. Then we see the water starts going faster. It becomes a worse environment for all the critters who live in there. I mean, you got fish looking for a spot to spawn, but there's no cover, there's no slow water. It's not a good situation to be in for the critters. So even just letting all of this blackberry go hog wild like this causes generational impacts to our local flora and fauna. Boy, here we got some of the all-time goats of all the different native species in the Fraser Valley. Cascade Oregon grape. This stuff, when it fruits, is absolutely loaded with pectin. It makes some top-notch jams, trust me. Got plenty of Oregon grape. We got these beautiful western sword ferns. It's really lovely how they make this cascading understory. We got a beautiful nurse log here. A lot of the red cedars, they get real big, and when they go down, they contribute to life, for years after they go. We got a lot of this lovely thick moss cover you get. It's pretty indicative of our nice rainforest climate that we got. Now there's other stuff growing here too. This is probably Herb Robert. It's a kind of geranium invasive in our area. You can see it flowering down there. Those guys are everywhere, unfortunately. They crowd out our Pacific bleeding hearts, which is a real pain. But there is so much life coming off this nurse log. I can't wait to get here in a little bit warmer weather so I can see all the cool mushrooms that come up. Got one of my favorite easy to identify mushrooms here. This little fella is Schizophyllum commune, also known as the split gill mushroom. Always remember that one, because a community full of schizos just sounds like my kind of place. Now, I absolutely love seeing stuff like this. I see trumpeter swans all over the place. A lot of people know what they are. A lot of people don't know that we have more than one kind of swan around here. And they've actually integrated that in with, some auditory samples, which makes this an awesome little enrichment point. I just need to do one of these with seagulls so I can tell our 16 overlapping species apart. Any woodworkers in the audience? These burls getting you going? I know they got all kinds of that wacky wood grain in there. You guys love this shit. I've been scouring the hillsides as I go here, really hoping I could see a trailing blackberry. That's our boy, I believe is Rubus ursus. And there's a white bark raspberry or white bark blackberry. It's one of the two. It's in Rubus anyways. But it's a white bark. And there should be some of that around here too. But everywhere I'm looking, I'm seeing that Himalayan blackberry. Now remember, you got blackberries growing in your yard. It's beautiful and they're sweet. But please don't make it Himalayan blackberry. This stuff is unkillable. I mean, that's what I spend most of my time doing, is invasive species management. And this Himalayan blackberry is my foe, I tell you. Leaves a 5, leave none alive. All this blackberry and invasive species hubbub, all because some shitbird 150 years before my birth decided, hey, this plant grown in Iran and Armenia, you know where I should put that? California. This battle was started well before my birth, and I imagine it's going to keep going well after I'm gone. But, pitch in if you can, right? It's all about improving your local community, be that for the people inside it, or the birds, or the bees, or the swallowtails. We're all in this together.